copyrights, trademarks, and designs impact on daily life, and to celebrate creativity and the contribution made by the creators and innovators to the development of the societies across the world. The theme of World Intellectual Property Day 2022 is IP and Youth Innovating for a Better Future. And what a better platform than Ch.S.D.St.Theresa's College for Women, Eluru, which is always on the forefront for promoting innovation among the students under the able guidance of Dr. Sister Marietta De Mello, our dynamic principal. So before we begin today's session, let me invite Ms. Ratna to lead us into prayer. Over to Ratna.
Let us bow down our heads and start our daily prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in the temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. O most merciful God, grant me, I beseech thee, ardently to desire, prudently to study, brightly to understand, and perfectly to fulfill that which is pleasing to thee, for the praise and glory of thy holy name. Amen.
Thank you for invoking God's blessings, Ratna. Now, I take this opportunity to welcome our dear resource person, Dr. Deepa, Indian Registered Patent Attorney. A warm welcome to our principal, Dr. Sister Marietta De Mello. I welcome Dr. Sister Shauri Lu, Vice Principal and PG Director, the force behind today's program. I heartily welcome Dr. Sister Sunila Rani, the Controller of Examinations, Dr. R. Madhavi, the IIC Coordinator, all the heads of the various department, faculty members, and students to this informative session on IPR. Now, I take this opportunity to invite a lady with passion, a real commitment, Dr. Madhavi, HOD English Department and the IIC Coordinator, to give her opening remarks on today's session. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Santosh, and welcome all. Especially welcome to Ms. Deepa for coming on for gracing this platform. Now, we all know that the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. This quotation by Einstein stands very true today. Today, the world is ruled by innovation, creativity, and ideation. We've come a long way from the time when we started making fire, controlling it, and then today we are in a time when smartphones have come in. And what about the future? There are things that are going on that is really mind-boggling and unimaginable. We have ideas such as organic burial pods, solar-powered bikes, drainage pipe nets, all becoming common parlance to us today. It's becoming part and parcel of our lives. So, what are the ideas that are going to sustain the planet? What are the innovations that are going to keep us alive and kicking? That is what is the concern of mankind today. What can save our planet? So with this, I think this principle, this idea of taking ideas forward, the Union Ministry of Human Resource Development, under such stalwarts like Anil Sahasrabudhe and Minister Piyush Goyal, have come out with this novel kind of way in which they sustain innovation and creativity in universities and colleges. And that was why we have started the Institutions Innovation Council in St. Theresa's College under the leadership of our President, Dr. Sister Marietta De Mello, Vice President, Dr. Sister Shauri Lu, and of course myself as the coordinator and Ms. Santosh as the secretary. And today we are very glad that we have taken this forward a lot in the sense that we have conducted a number of programs where we have tried to design some kind of an innovation ecosystem in our campus by promoting business ideation among students and also by encouraging students to start up some kind of small entrepreneurship, small businesses in their own way. But we are still in the nascent period and we still have got to learn more, especially about business ideation. We've got to know about international property rights also. We have had a number of sessions earlier, webinars earlier, where many of us were introduced to what is international, what are the property rights that we have, and how we should record all these, and how we should go for copywriting and patenting. A number of our staff also hold patents, and a few of us also have got into copywriting. But still, I think this is the time is ripe that we still continue to know more about intellectual property rights and how we can register for them. So, and this is really dismal. The fact is dismal that in India we hardly do such things. Take China, for example, we have 5.3 million patents, and the USA, second in line, 3.5 million patents. But India stands very dismal in the 45th place with 60,000 patents. So I'm glad today that we have Ms. Deepa Bhopana, who has come today online and who is going to address the gathering. And I congratulate Ms. Santosh for taking up the self-driven activity. And I hope many more of you students get inspired and you learn what is international property rights. Please listen carefully and take down notes. And I think you all can ask your queries, keep all your questions and your doubts to the end of the session. So welcome, Deepa ma'am. Over to Santosh.
Thank you, Madhvi ma'am, for briefing us on the importance of patent in our daily life and how we can bring it into innovative business and ecosystem. Now, I feel immensely glad to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Deepa Bhopana, a woman who has embraced a mindset of growth and innovation. I would like to quote a beautiful quotation by Albert Einstein, where he says, "The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before." And this aptly describes our resource person today, Dr. Deepa. So, Dr. Deepa is a registered Indian patent attorney from Chennai, and she holds a doctoral degree in analytical chemistry and bachelor's in law. She has obtained Women Scientist Scholarship Award specializing in intellectual property rights, which was instituted by Department of Science and Technology, DST, Government of India. Hearty congratulations, ma'am. She has several years of experience in the field of IPR, and presently she's running an IPR firm, Havesh Associates in Chennai, an entity of Intelpat Patent Solution. Dr. Deepa has profound potency in diverse technical fields for patents, including physical sciences, life sciences, biotechnology, pharma, medical, and other fields. Dr. Deepa also offers services to R&D labs, industries, and academic institutions and provides assistance right from drafting the application, filing, and prosecuting till grant. So we are indeed very happy that you are there amidst us, ma'am, and we look forward to today's informative session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the nice introduction. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizers, the management, and the office bearers for inviting me to deliver the lecture on intellectual property rights. I will make myself very simple to explain you what is an intellectual property rights and what are the types of intellectual property rights with few interesting case laws. Then it will be very, uh, interesting for you to listen the lecture. Ma'am, shall I share the screen?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, are you able to share the screen?
I think you should. You have to make her.
Once again, ma'am, we are trying.
Okay. If not, you can send me the PPT. I'll share it for you.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. We'll try once again. Person now. ಇದು open ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. Okay. Okay, ma'am. I'll send email.
Right, ma'am.
Mm. Open பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கியா? Yeah, WhatsApp mobile. Presentation டிஸ்டர்ப்ல இருக்குல்ல. சரி.
Ma'am, are
Yes,
you
yes.
able to, or if you mail
Yes.
me, I'll just do. There is a share present now. If you
Mm.
can just present it.
1 second, ma'am. I'll try.
Right, right.
Yes, yes. இங்க இருக்கு. Presentation. இங்க இருக்கு present அண்ணா. Okay. Share. Ma'am, I have sent email. Have you received?
Right, ma'am. I'll just check. You can continue, ma'am. I'll share the screen for you.
Mhm.
Ma'am, I didn't receive yet.
Yes, yes. It has bounced back. 1 second, ma'am. Spell பண்ணு.
SEM
Mm.
TO
Mm.
SH
Mm.
J
Mm.
HA
Mm.
WAR
Mm.
at gmail.com.
Now check, ma'am. Yes.
I didn't receive yet. It's SANTOSH JHAWAR.
SEM JH. It's the same one only I have said. 1 second, ma'am. அங்க போய் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் பண்ணு.
I received it, ma'am.
Received, ma'am?
Yeah, I'll share it for you. You can start, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, it's there.
Yes, yes, ma'am. You can play this screen share. Shall I start, ma'am? Or
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
is it screen share view, ma'am?
Is it? Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. The topic goes like this: overview of intellectual property rights. Next slide, please. Yeah, I'll just give an introduction of what is
Ma'am, you continue. I'll share it for
yeah.
you.
I'll just give an introduction of what is intellectual property rights. We all know earlier concept of property is we all know there are two types of properties. One is movable property and another one is immovable property. So the examples of movable property are cars, cattle. These are all movable property, the property which can move. Immovable property means land, building, trees. These are all immovable properties, which means they won't move. It will be fixed in that way. So, so this is what earlier concept of property, that is movable property and immovable property. The present concept of what one property, one more property they have included, that is intellectual property. That is the property arising out of human intellect. Okay, the property which is created by the human intelligence is called intellectual property. And those movable and immovable properties, what I said earlier, it is tangible. What do you mean by tangible? You can see the property and you can touch the property. That is what tangibility. So if you own a house, you can see the house, you can touch the house, right? Coming to intellectual property, these are intangible, which means you cannot see or touch the property. Which means, see, you have a patent with you, you have a copyright with you. Where is it? Do you able to see that property or do you able to touch, but still the property exists? That is what intangible property. So the present concept of property, apart from movable and immovable, there is yet another property, that is intellectual property, property arising out of human intellect. Okay, there are various types of intellectual properties, that is patents, copyrights, trademarks, design, geographical indication, layout of integrated circuits. You can name some more also. So, presently, being an academic and educational institution, the four types are very important types as far as educational institutions are concerned. They are patents, copyrights, trademarks, and designs. We will see these four properties and we will see certain interesting case laws with this property. If so, that's what. I'll just explain what is this for. Coming to patents, it is all the properties are right. It is a right given by the government to the person who has created the property. That is what intellectual property. So, intellectual property rights. So, patent, copyright, trademark, these are all right. It is a right given by the government to the person who has created the property. Coming to patents, okay. Ma'am, next slide. Okay. Coming to patents, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
See, coming to patents, if a right is given for a scientific invention, that right is named as patent. Okay. If it is for a scientific inventions, and if a right is given to a literary, dramatical, musical, cinematography, sound recording, artistic. These are the various art, copyrighted works. So if a right is given to a cinematographic work, it is termed as copyright. If a right is given to an artistic
Just
work,
whether
it
the
is a
next slide is
copyright.
coming or not. Just
And then
bear with
coming to
us. We are very
trademarks, a brand name given to goods or services, it is trademarks. Okay. Now we will go into the slides where it is just a crisp definition of what is a patent. So I said earlier, it is a right. It is a monopoly right granted for an invention by the government to the inventor or his assignees for a limited period of time,
no, but
and
that
it is
was like
valid within the country of grant. So this is
they
the
told.
patent. So patent
Okay.
is a right. It is a right given by the government. So who is giving the right? Government is giving the right. To whom? To the inventor. That is the person who has invented the thing, or to the assignee. For example, if your college or university is giving finance and infrastructure for doing the research, the college will be the owner of the patent. And then for what the right is giving? For an invention, and it is for limited for a period of 20 years only. Okay, only for 20 years, and after that it will be open to the public, which means anybody can market, manufacture and use. And if you got a patent in India, you have right only in India. If you want to claim right in US also, you have to file patent application in US. Okay, so it is territorial. So that is what patent is. Now I think you have got an idea what is a patent. Patent is a right. It is a right granted by the government. Here it is central government to the inventor, the person who creates the property, and then it is valid for 20 years. For patent, you just note down patent right is for 20 years. Okay. And then see, not all scientific inventions are patentable. So you keep this in mind. If you have an invention with you, not all inventions you can get. So only those inventions which obeys these three conditions. So what are these conditions? New, that is novelty, inventive step and industrial application. So these are the three essential conditions for an invention to become a patentable subject matter. Okay, so you have an invention with you means you have to check whether it is new, inventive step and industrially applicable. We will see one by one. Next slide, ma'am. So what is novelty? What is novelty means it should not be available in the state of art. See, nowhere it is available. Okay. So what is state of art? If information appearing in journals, newspapers, uh, books, magazines, if your invention is already there in this newspapers or journals or magazines, the invention doesn't have novelty. And one more thing is you are not supposed to publish your invention in any journal before filing the patent. If your invention is a patentable subject matter, if you publish and then come for patent office will reject the patent because there is no novelty in that. It is not new, it is already there in the journal, right? So that is the thing. And then uh, and then you are not supposed to disclose your invention in conferences or seminars also. Okay, and then novelty is assessed in globalized country, which means it should be new throughout the world. Okay, okay. So this is the first condition. Your invention should be new, which means new throughout the world. So if your which means you are not supposed to publish your invention in a journal. You are not supposed to deliver your in a workshops or conferences or something like that, and it should not be available in any journals, newspapers, magazines, etc. Next slide, ma'am. See, this is what novelty is. Next slide. So what is inventive step? Inventive step means a feature that makes the invention non-obvious to a person skilled in the art. So this is what Act defines. So I will explain this with simply. It should be advantage. Okay, it should be advantage over the previous invention. It should be an advantage or it should be cost effective. If your invention is very cheaper than the previous invention, then government office will agree that your invention is having inventive step. If your invention is advantage than the previous invention, then it is said to have an inventive step. So this is the second criteria. The first one is your invention should be new. New means nowhere in the global state of art, throughout the world it should be new. Second one is it should have advantage or cost effective. It should be cheaper. Next slide. And then it should be useful. Next slide, ma'am. It should be useful, which means it should have some use. See, we are investing time, money, everything to come out with a research, we come out with an invention or a final product. If there is no use in that, it can be a medical use, or it can be an agricultural use, or it can be a cosmetic use, anything. There should be some use. No use, no patent shall be granted. So these are the three conditions. Now you will be having something, okay? Some you might have. The three important conditions are it should be new, it should be advantage, it should be useful. So your invention should possess these three conditions. Next slide, ma'am. Okay. See, you have your invention, okay, and you have got also, okay, you are very confident that your invention is new, and then your invention is advantage and it is having excellent in good use. But if it falls under section 3 and section 4 of Indian Patent Act, no valid patent shall be granted. Okay. So what is section 3 and 4 states? Section 3 states what are not inventions. See, even though your invention is new, advantageous and useful, if it is frivolous or obviously contrary to the well-established natural laws, that is, you have come out with a time machine where you can go to the past or go to the future. See, it is against nature, so no patent shall be granted. And then contrary to public order or morality, prejudice to human, animal or plant life or health or to the environment. This thing also, okay, if you have invented a method or device for committing theft or burglary or a biological warfare weapon, such kind of things are contrary to public order. If it is against public order or morality, no patent shall be granted. Next slide. Section 3C states mere discovery of scientific principles, abstracts, theory, living things or non-living substances. So which means discoveries are non-patentable, only inventions are patentable. Okay, what is the difference between discovery and invention? Now comes the question. What is already existing in the earth and you have found that, it is a discovery. Or if the human intervention is there to come out with a product or a process, then it is invention. Very simple example. Newton's law of gravity is a discovery. Alexander Graham Bell's telephone is an invention, right? So now you have a difference between what is a discovery and an invention. And then section 3D states new use of a known compound is non-patentable. That is, a product is already known. A product is already known, and then it is known for a particular use. For example, the aspirin is a famous example where it is, we all know aspirin is a pain relief, that is analgesic property. And later it was found that it is having excellent cardiovascular property, that is a blood thinning agent. So new use of a known compound is non-patentable. Next slide. So mere admixtures, you are mixing A, B and C. Okay, you're mixing A, B and C. And if, for example, you are taking a compound A, it is having anti-cancer property, B is also having anti-cancer, C is also having anti-cancer, A, B, C is having 10% efficacy. If you mix all the three, if you get only 30% efficacy, no patent shall be granted. That is additive. If you mix all the three and you are getting 80 or 90%, which means some synergism is existing, so it is patentable. And then section 3F states that mere arrangement, rearrangement and duplication of known devices. So you see, umbrella cum torch. Actually, it is this invention, umbrella with torch. This is non-patentable because umbrella is already known. Torch is also already known. Just fixing the two known devices is non-patentable. And then method of agriculture or horticulture. Next slide, ma'am. Method of treatment. So, as per Indian patent law, treatment is non-patentable. That is, you are doing some surgery to a patient, a new method of removing a cancer cells or tumor cells from the thing. It is non-patentable. And then plants, animals, including seed varieties, species, biological process. So these are all protected under Plant Varieties and Farmer Rights Act. Next slide. And then mathematics or business method, computer programs, algorithms, literary, dramatic, musical, artistic work, another aesthetic works, mere scheme, rule, method of performing mental act, playing games, these are all non-patentable. So these are all, even though your invention is new, useful and advantageous, it is non-patentable. Next slide, please. And then presentation of information, topography of integrated circuits, traditional knowledge. So these are all non-patentable. So traditional knowledge. So there is no patents for neem, turmeric, etc. Next slide. And then section 4 states that no patent shall be granted in respect of invention relating to atomic energy falling within subsection 1 of section 20 of Atomic Energy Act 1960. That is, if your invention is involving radioactive substances like thorium, uranium, plutonium, such kind of radioactive species, or alpha or gamma radiation, and if that invention is harmful to the society or to the environment, or it is a threat to our defense, such kind of inventions are non-patentable. That's all about inventions non-patentable. Next slide, please. Okay. I think now you have got an idea what is a patent. Okay. The thing is, first thing, you have an invention with you. Once you got an invention, just take whether the three conditions are satisfied: new, useful and advantageous, and it should not fall under section 3 and section 4 of Indian Patent Act. Then you have to go and file your application in the Indian Patent Office. So this is the procedure. First, we have to file our application and it will get published. After publication, they will take up for examination and then issue an examination report. In that, we have to file the reply. Once the examiner is satisfied with the reply, they will grant the patent. Else, they will call for a hearing and then grant will take place. So this is the procedure. So first, filing. Next, our invention will get published and then it will get examined and then grant. So these are the stages of patent grant procedure. Next slide, please. So these are the forms that we need to submit for filing the patent application. That is form 1, 2, 3, 26, 5. These are the various forms. Next slide. So now you have got an idea what is a patent. So patent is for scientific inventions. So 3 conditions should be satisfied: new, advantage and useful, and it should not fall under section 3 and section 4 of Indian Patent Act. And the procedure will be filing, next will get published, and then examination, and then grant of patent will take place. So this is the procedure for patent. Coming to copyrights. Next slide, please. Copyright is it is obviously all intellectual properties are right only. Okay. Exclusive right. So what right they are getting means, as far as copyrights are concerned, right to copy or reproduce the work for which author has got the copyright. So he has the right to publish. Okay, publish and sell the work to the market. And then a right to do or authorizing others to do certain works. That is, he has the right to authorize a publisher. So he may not be having that provision. So he can give the right to the publisher to publish the book and launch in the market. So it is also a product of human skill and mental capacity to do some creative, something creative. Next slide, please. So I must say, copyright is a bundle of rights. What are the rights you are getting in copyrights means rights of reproduction, communication to the public, adaptation and translation of work. So if you have written a book in English, Nobody should copy and translate it in whatever language they want. So in all the languages, you will get the right. Next slide, please. So as far as patents, I said it is for a scientific invention. If it is a copyright, these are the subject matters. That is cinematography, artistic work, dramatic, musical, literary, sound recording, computer programs. These are the various subject matter of copyrights. Next slide, please. See, who is the owner? Okay, if it is a book, literary or dramatic work, the person who writes the book is the owner of the copyright. He is the author, was the owner of the work. If it is an artistic work, the artist is the owner. If it is a musical work, the composer is the owner. If it is a photography, the photographer. See, you just look at this. For a cinematography work, it is the producer is the owner of the copyright. And if it is a computer program, the programmer is the owner. Next slide, please. We will see what are these works one by one. So what is artistic work? Artistic work is paintings, sculptures, drawings, engravings, architecture, craftsmanship. So these are all the subject matter of artistic work. Next slide, please. Cinematography work, we all know, sound recording accompanied with moving visual images. Okay, that is what cinematography work. Next slide. Literary work, anything you are writing in a paper falls under literary work. Okay, so next slide. These are the subject matter of literary work, that is books, e-books, new editions, novels, stories, plays, poems, long lyrics, everything. See, you are writing it in a paper means it is falls under literary work. Next slide, please. Which are not subjectable, even though you are writing it in a paper, if it falls under this non-patentable, that is only two or three sentence or titles or single word. These are all protected under different. Single word cannot be copyrighted. And a blank form, website, mathematical formula, pocket diaries. So diary are all not copyrighted. Okay, flashcards, screenshots and snapshots. These are all non-copyrightable subject matter. Next slide. Musical. What is musical work here is that sheet music, graphical notation on a steve lines. This is sheet music. So it is called musical work. Next slide, please. Sound recording means you are recording the sound in a medium, for example, a CD or a pen drive, which has both music and voice, audio voice. Then it falls under sound recording. Now you can have differentiate between what is musical and sound recording. Musical is graphical notation and steve lines. So they have that format lines, that is musical, and this is sound recording. Next slide, please. And this is, see, I said for patent, it is for 20 years you will get the right. Coming to copyrights, okay. It is lifetime plus 60 years. That is death of the author. If somebody has penned a book, after his death, 60 years he will get the right. And if it is a work of an organization, means 60 years from the date of publication. Next slide. So this is the copyright registration. This is also same as that of patents, where first we have to file it, and then they will examine, and we have to file the examination work, then it will get granted. So there is no publication part in copyright. Okay, only filing, examination, grant will takes place. Next slide, please. What are the advantages? What are the advantages of copyright means? See, it is not compulsory. You have to do copyright. The moment it is created, it will get protected. But since, unlike patents, I said, if you want to claim right in US, you have to file your application in US also. If you want to claim right in India, you have to file it in India. But whereas copyright is concerned, throughout the world, one copyright application is sufficient. As per Berne Convention, the member countries, India being the one of the member country, so if you have got copyright in India, it is protected throughout the world, which means If that is the advantage of copyright registration. So you can prove the copyright in foreign countries also. Next slide, please. That's all about copyrights. Coming to trademarks, a brand name given to any article relating to commerce, that is a goods or services, you're giving a brand name, it is called trademarks. So these are the well-known trademarks: Cipla, Coca-Cola, Procter and Gamble, P&G. That's what various brand names. Next slide, please. So it can be a word, for example, Fanta, Coca-Cola. These are all. It can be a word or a logo. It can be some logo design, or a slogan, or a design, or a color scheme, or a smell, or a sound. Okay, so these are the various things which can be trademarked. Next slide, please. See, why trademark registration is essential. The reason being to prevent confusion among the consumers, to control the repetition, and to protect the goodwill. Next slide. And what the essentials of trademarks are, it should be distinctive. For example, Apple for computers. Apple is a fruit. Computer is an electronic. So it is distinctive and easy to pronounce, remember, spell, and write, and it should not be confusing, and preferably an invented or coined word. That is Kodak for cameras. There is no meaning for Kodak. Okay. And then it should not belong to the marks prohibited by law or emblem of India, should not contain obscene matters, or it should not hurt religious or sacred feelings of any citizen. Next slide. See, that's all about trademarks. Coming to design, okay, that is the external appearance of a product is the design. So the external appearance is also protected. So you can claim right over that also. Next slide, please. So if two companies are marketing for a same product, okay, same product with same functionality, the design is the only matter that differentiates. See, you can see, no, like the shape of the Fanta bottle, the shape of the Coca-Cola bottle, they are design protected. And then there are some medicines where the medicines for heart diseases, the tablet is in the shape of R-team. That is also design protected. And then the packaging also, see, it ranges from shape of product to packaging. You can see that Kinder Joy chocolate, that packaging, that is also design protected, which means they prevent others to do a package of a candy. Next slide, please. So that's all about the various intellectual property rights. That is patents, it is for scientific inventions. Copyrights, it is for literary, dramatic, artistic, musical work. Trademarks, that is for a brand name for goods and services. And then industrial design, it is for the external aesthetic appearance of the thing. Okay, so coming to we will see some interesting case laws. See, there is one case, basmati rice case, patent case. So here in 1997, American company Rice Stick, okay, a patent was granted for a basmati rice. So see here, what they have claimed is the length of the grain is larger, and then it is having good aroma, the smell, and also the starch index. Okay, it is having good starch index. See what happens if they get patent right for basmati rice. Actually, major producers of basmati rice throughout the world is northern part of India and Pakistan only. Okay, so what will happen if they got a patent right in European countries? We cannot enter into that. Our producers cannot import their product into that market. So what will happen? There will be a big loss for that. So India being the one of the person who will be suffering for this patent right, and they have named the rice as Texmati. See, our rice is basmati, no? The company name is Rice Stick, so they have named it as Texmati. So India file a case against them. Okay, see, because they cannot import their product, or they cannot establish their market there. Okay, so actually they have filed a case against that American company, raised it, and then the patent has not been completely revoked. But what happened was all the claims has been cancelled. Only these, they are still having these three claims. That is like the length of the grain, the starch index, and aroma. Next slide, ma'am. Next slide. Next slide. Coming to turmeric case, see, everybody is talking about turmeric patent rights. Okay, the fact of the case is the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Okay, what they have found, they have they have filed a patent for turmeric for treating surgical wounds. Okay, for treating surgical wounds, they have filed a patent for turmeric. And then the Indian government, see, we all know turmeric is a traditional knowledge. We all know that it is having wound healing property also. Okay, so we have filed a case in the US court. The CSIR has filed a case in the US court, and finally CSIR has won the case. And European Patent Office and US Patent Office wants to make very clear that traditional knowledges should not be patented. Next slide, please. And then neem case, it is very important, and this is the first case of biopiracy where, see, we all know, right, neem, we can say it is a village pharmacy, right, from the root, stem, bark, seed, fruit, everything is having medicinal property. And here a timber merchant, what he did know, he imported uh, neem seeds into US, and he has grown neem plant, and he have found an emulsion. So he has named it as a antifungal agent. For he sprayed for plants. Okay, see, and he has got patent right in US, and he has filed the patent application in India also. The pathetic part is he has started suing, filing case against the Indian company who is using neem, because he has got patent right for that neem. But actually it was a very big revolution, I must say. And then various NGOs and all, they came into the picture, and they are very particular that our traditional knowledge should not be patented. And then the US company, the patent right has been cancelled, and US and EPO, US Patent Office and APM Patent Office are very particular that such kind of patents should not be entertained. Next slide, ma'am. I think you can go up to 4 slides. Next, next, next. Yeah. So that's all about the neem case. Coming to compulsory license. See, I said patent is a monopoly right. Okay, which means no other person will have the right to do market, manufacture, and use. That is the right. There are certain cases where government of India will grab the patent right of the patent owner, will grab the patent right from the patent owner, and then they'll give it to some other person to do the things if these three conditions are satisfied. What are the three conditions? The reasonable requirement of the patent with respect to patented invention has not been satisfied, that the patented invention is not available to the public at reasonable and affordable price, and that it is not worked in India. So these are the three conditions. Okay, that is, even if it is cost very expensive, the first thing. The second one is, even though it is very expensive, I'm able to purchase, means it is not available in the market, and it is not manufactured in India. These are the three conditions. That is, it is very expensive. Even though it is expensive, it is not accessible to me, and then it is not worked in India. Next slide, please. See, this is the first case and only case in India where compulsory license has been granted. The company name is Bayer Corporation. Okay, they have got Nixaver. That brand name is Nixaver, and that drug is sorafenib tosylate, and it is for renal cell carcinoma and hepatocellular carcinoma. That is kidney and liver cancer. It is a good drug for this Nixaver, kidney and liver cancer, where Bayer has got the patent right. Next slide, please. See here, all the three conditions of the compulsory license is satisfied. That is, just see, only the per month, the cost is 2.8 lakhs. Okay, The Bayer drug, per month the cost is 2.8 lakhs. And then only, even though I'm willing to spend 2.8 lakhs, only 2% of kidney and liver patients are able to access the drug because the drug is not available. And then it is not manufactured in India. So here all the three conditions are satisfied. Next slide, please. So what happened? The Bayer compulsory license was granted to Bayer. So it was compulsory license was granted to generic drug company NATCO, where these are the conditions of the compulsory license. Only 6% royalty of the net sales should be paid to the Bayer. Of course, he is the patent owner. And then see, look at the price, 8,800 rupees. See, it is previously it is 2.8 lakhs per month, right? That Bayer's drug. Now NATCO has got this generic version where only 8,800 rupees only for 1 month, and 600 poor patients they have to give free of cost that Bayer kidney and liver cancer drug. So this, as I must say, this is the first and only patent till now the compulsory license has been granted. Next slide, please. Actually, it is a very landmark case, or with the landmark judgment, patent case on Novartis versus Union of India. So actually, this Novartis, the US company, has filed a case against Indian Constitution. They have filed case against India about the validity of Section 3D of Indian Patent Act. Next slide, please. See, the fact of the case is, Glinivac is a drug for leukemia, blood cancer. Okay, next slide. See, he has got patent in 35 countries. Actually, it is the drug name is imatinib mesylate. It is in beta crystalline form. Alpha form is already known. See here, beta crystalline form of imatinib mesylate. Okay. See here, patent office rejected the patent, stating that it falls under section 3D. What is section 3D? I said as per an example. Okay, it is new use of a known compound or a new form of a known compound. See, alpha form of imatinib mesylate is already known. So this is beta form. Okay.
Shiva, please mute yourself. Shiva, please mute yourself. Sorry, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. So it is new form of a known compound is non-patentable. Next slide, ma'am. And then see, this company, they went up to Supreme Court. They went up to challenge our Constitution of India that there is no equality before law. And then actually, see, strictly speaking, it is very difficult. That discovery is, so that invention is outstanding invention only. But India being the developing area, what will happen? All drugs are being patented, which means whatever cost they are fixing, we have to pay and get the product. No. So government of India is very particular, and they have not granted the patent for new form of a known compound. And finally, Novartis decided to stop any further investment in R&D in India. So this is the conclusion the Novartis did. Next slide. So far what we have discussed is patent related cases. Now we'll see this copyright. We all know Kajal Agarwal advertisement for VVD, that coconut oil. So here the Kajal Agarwal, what she did, she filed a case against the VVD that she needs royalty for n number of years. For every year she wants to get the royalty because they are telecasting the advertisement where she is the model. But as I said earlier, if it is a cinematography work, the producer is the owner of the copyright, right? So producer has the right, and the model who is working doesn't have any right. It is just an employer-employee relationship. See, she has been paid and she has been acted. That's it. Her rights ends there itself. So here Kajal Agarwal lost the case. Next slide, please. And this is a famous case for trademarks, where you see the Mercedes Benz, the symbol of Mercedes. This VIP undergarments, they have launched underwear with the name Benz itself. it is Benz. Look at the logo. You see a man raise the hands up and legs apart, which is similar to that of the Mercedes Benz. See, it not only copying the brand name Benz, it will affect their ethics. Their morality, like such a branded car with an underwear. Next slide, please. And here Mercedes Benz won the case. Excuse me. And then this is regarding the design registration, where Sunit Verma is a designer and he has designed one. Next slide. And this is the thing, Rani Mukherjee from Bantu or Bablu, where the blue color pancho with heavily embroidered trousers, this is designed by Sunit Verma. And then costumer of this movie, he purchased the dress from the market. And she has wore that, and in all the CDs, in those days, the cassettes, her, excuse me, this picture was only there. So based on that, the market, the producer has got more profit for that. So what happened? He filed a case against the producer that he has used his designed product, but here the designer lost the case, because see, it is not the duty of the producer to see whatever things, because it is a very big movie, and he cannot keep on watching whether it is like a copyrighted product or not, or something like that. So previous slide. Incidental use of dress in a cinematographic film is not amounts to copying. That was the judgment given by the court. Next slide. And this is also a design case where Wheat has introduced that S-shaped spatula. Previously Annie French is using the same. So Annie French has design registered, and Annie French won the case. Nowadays you won't see this S-shaped spatula for Wheat. Next slide, please. So these are I just want to share with you various intellectual property right related case laws and infringement cases. If you have a patent or a copyright or a trademark, if somebody is copying your invention, you have all the rights to file case against them. That is what infringement right. Next slide, please. So what remedies you are getting means, what are the types of offenses? It can be civil or criminal or administrative. Next slide. If it is a trademark, copyrights and design, it falls under civil offense, where the remedies are injunction, damages, and accounts on profit. Next slide. If it is a patent, it is completely a criminal offense only. If somebody copying the patent right and launching the product in the market, it is criminal offense. Copyright and trademark also, if it is willfully done on a commercial scale, like producing pirated CDs of the new films, such kind of things falls under criminal offense. And here it is a non-bailable offense, cognizable, and then imprisonment and fine up to 2 lakhs. Next slide, please. That's it. If you have any queries, you can come. Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am. We'll wait for the students to ask their questions. So, Dr. Deepa, you are fountainhead of knowledge. With your immense knowledge, you have really created an awareness about the IPR, especially the patents and copyrights among the faculty members as well as the students. And you have rightly guided them in respect of patenting their inventions, and you have provided a practical insights. So thank you so much for this seminar, ma'am. This will definitely bring a positive transformation among the students in regard to innovation and invention. And ma'am, you have also covered various ethical and non-ethical practices which we encounter in our daily lives with respect to the use of registered properties under various IPR Act. Thank you so much, ma'am. And the various case studies, they were really very informative. The case studies that were explained by you has given clear-cut ideas about what are the different cases that the court is having and what kind of judgments they have passed regarding those cases. As I was not aware about the costume that you were talking about by the designer, which Rani Mukherjee had worn. So it looks so simple to all of us, but yes, there are few things that are overlooked because we don't know much about IPRs, patents, and copyrights, and rightly you have brought them to our notice. And we will be also very careful before we take up anything of others. That has to be in our mind. So now I request the students, if you have any kind of questions, you can ask ma'am. Ma'am has taken out a lot of her time from a busy schedule, and we respect that, ma'am. And I like the students to interact with ma'am on any questions regarding copyrights, patents, anything that you have. Likita, do you have any question to ask?
Ma'am?
Yes. Money?
Ma'am?
Mansa? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you have said that we will be given 20 years of time period for patent. What will happen after completion of 20 years, ma'am?
It will be
Do we
open.
have to apply again?
No. It will be open to public, and anybody can market, manufacture, and use. See, what is patent? Actually, if you see, is patent right? Is applying patent is good to the society or bad to the society? Okay, that is the first question. Why government of India is granting patent rights? What is patent right? The right what we are getting in patent is you can prevent others to market, manufacture, and use. That is the right you are getting, right? So you have invented
Yes, ma'am.
a drug. Okay, you have invented a drug. So what right you are getting? You have the right to manufacture and launch the drug in the market. Okay, and what right you are getting, so others should not copy your formula and launch the product in the market. So that is the right you are getting. So and then whatever the cost you are fixing, we have to purchase from you. Uh, so
Yes,
that
ma'am.
right is only for 20 years. Why the government India wants to have a balance between the inventor and the common public. See, if there is no patent right is given, no, there won't be any encouragement in the research, because it research involves enormous amount of time, money, energy, everything. Okay, so if I am doing all the research in somebody coming and copying from me and launching the market, what is the use? So it
Yes.
won't entertain research. The same time, for the mere reason you have created a product, you will get all the rights. That is not good. So you are getting right only for 20 years. After 20 years, any person can do the manufacture and launch the product in the market.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other question, girls, students? Ma'am, many a times the students ask us that there are few competitions where they need to bring out their business plans and business ideas, and they are quite afraid of putting them into such competitions, thinking that it can be copied. So, any suggestions as where they could protect their business ideas? How could they do that?
Actually, like if they are presenting in the workshops or conferences, if it is a patentable subject matter, if it is scientific invention, it is better to file a patent application and then go and present your invention in this conferences or seminars. That will be advisable. If somebody comes and copies, and then if you have not filed, you won't get a patent right.
Right, ma'am. Thank you. So that this is something the students can take from ma'am, that whenever you are going for any competitions, you can file your patents. Ma'am, there's one more question that I would like to ask on behalf of all the students. Like any kind of help from the side of the government for these budding entrepreneurs or budding inventors, like in terms of the patents or copyrights, ma'am?
Yes, yes. There are various schemes instituted by the government of India. Especially, I am from Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu State Council is there. Likewise, Andhra Pradesh also you will be having. Okay, where you can go approach them, where they will take care of all the expenses. And then see, if you have patent, if you want to start an startup also, they will assist and they will help. For example, in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai, we have one Ramachandra Medical College, where they are having this incubation cell where you can approach there, and then they will help you to start up a startup or small scale entity. Such kind of financial assistance is given by government of India.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So now, as we have come to the end of the session, I now request Ms. Hepzibah, the lecturer from the Department of Management Studies, to propose vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
A very fine good morning to one and all. No matter which language we speak, a smiling and a kind thank you always speaks to everyone's heart. I am Hepzibah from the Department of Management Studies. It's my immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks on this day. First and foremost, I thank God Almighty for His gracious presence through this program. My heartfelt thanks to our correspondent, Dr. Sister Marietta Pudota, for her prayerful support. My sincere gratitude to our principal, Dr. Sister Marietta Demelo, for her support to organize this webinar. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Sister Shaurilu, Vice Principal and PG Directress, for motivating us to conduct this webinar. I thank Dr. Sister Sunila Rani, Controller of Examination, for her support. I thank Dr. Deepa Ma'am, today's resource person, for creating awareness and enlightening us about the patents, copyrights, and trademarks and designs that impacts our daily life. I thank Dr. R. Madhavi Ma'am, Head of the Department of English and IIC Coordinator, for her opening remarks. I thank all the IIC and IQAC members and the heads of all the departments for their support. My heartfelt thanks to Dr. Santosh Java, head of the Department of Management Studies, for taking up the lead and making this program a successful one. And I thank all the faculty members of our department for their timely support. I thank the students for their active participation. And my special thanks to Tommy sir for his technical support. Thank you one and all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We look forward to such more sessions with you, ma'am, in future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, students, and thank you all the faculty members. Thank you.